PTB for? What? Mm-mm. Corner is the reason I lost that fucking game anyway. Mm-hmm. They can't cover. And when I say they can't cover, they don't blanket receivers like my Texan AM receivers do. I mean corners do.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll return it. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. So Duke's offense will get the football first. The last time these two rivals got together, guys, there were hurt feelings and some dead fish handshakes in the aftermath, and this might be just the recipe to cook up some revenge, Jesse.
Well, they're going to be motivated, that's for sure. The losing team, they have been hearing about that blowout loss now for a very long time. They had this game circled, David, all offseason, hoping to get that payback.
Oh, man, and you get all the quotes, all the people talking about all those blowhards on all the different networks, i.e. us, talking about how bad it was and how embarrassing it was, and now you get a chance to get some payback. They're excited.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 27. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. And nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
Looking to throw, it's Lacey. Short throw to the sideline is complete, and he's out of bounds after picking up a couple.
Offenses don't like being in these situations. They don't like having little success on 1st and 2nd down because now you know I got to pass the football. I got to air it out. It makes me really predictable. So
he puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. He's got it inside the 30. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Duke. Looking for the time with the extra point.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the time to be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Tar Heels offense taking the field. First chance we have to see them today. They'll start this drive with a pass. As we take a quick look at the impact players for today's game, what players did you guys look to for motivation to make an impact during your playing days, Jesse?
Well, it was the guys we relied on each and every week. We came into the season expecting these types of guys to be our biggest weapons, and every week those were the guys that had to deliver for us in order to have success.
And it's just fun to have those guys that are consistent. Like they lead by example, then they start to learn their voice and lead the team. But every week, guys that you can count on, they punch the clock and they're hard workers.
tight end. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. The Tar Heels will snap it on 1st and 10. Quarterback making adjustments. Throws to the back. Makes the grab. Defense on skates that time. They finally drag him down at the 42. And the Tar Heels have their offense in high gear. He's got the back in the middle. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. New set of downs after the completion. They're going to run it. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. The Tar Heels are threatening in the red zone. Back to throw. It's Carter. Lets it go to the end zone. Wideout trying to get it in. They get him stopped at the 2, but it'll be 1st and goal. And the Tar Heels, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put touchdown, North Carolina! Quick strike through the air for the score.
Each and every week, I think this coaching staff does such a good job of scheming ways to get this guy the football in the passing game, and defenses can't cover him. With that last catch, this now his 10th receiving touchdown on the season.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score, already down 14-7. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking downfield on 1st down. Complete downfield. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the 1st down.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the 2nd drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
Looking to throw on 1st down. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. Breaks into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. Lots of good stuff on that play. You slow down the rush, you get a completion, and you move the chains.
And most importantly, you're right. You don't force a short yardage situation that you have to get. Nice job. Invite that rush up the field. Take advantage of the aggressiveness of the defense. Make the catch, make the run, get the 1st down.
You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
To throw, it's Lacey. Unloads to the wideout. And the deflection on 3rd down. How big is that? Forces a 4th down. The Blue Devils line up to punt it away. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. Able to get the first one of the day away. They did have to send him out 3 times in that victory last week. Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. Looking to throw on 1st down. The early scripts have worked. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. You want to talk about shifting the field in an instant. He's got it all the way down to the 10-yard line. They didn't just jumpstart that drive. They've electrified it, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. They keep pushing forward, now back to work on 2nd and goal from the 6. Rushes on him. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing. that big play. This defense has been a rough 3rd and goal coming. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to get it in. Touchdown, Tar Heels. Haul that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. And the extra point puts them on top 21-7.
This offense is really dangerous because of the weapons they have on the perimeter of the field. And you're seeing they go to these guys early, and they try to give them opportunities in one-on-one situations and vertically down the field. 2 passing touchdowns now early for this offense.
So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. And here's the return. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. Quickly trailing by 2 touchdowns, down 21-7, and really important to get something out of this drive. RPO complete to open the drive. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
Pulls and fires it complete to the right. He'll get a fresh set of downs, stopped at the 31-yard line. It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Back to throw, it's Lacey. He's going to take off. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, this defense is not going to be patient with this quarterback. They know that they have to affect him, and they have to dictate to him. So that time, they send the blitz. They're not even giving him an opportunity to sit back there.
Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked 1 time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
He lofts one down the sideline. Snatch it at the 30, still running. Seizing an open space, an opportunity all the way inside the red zone. They'll mark it at the 19.
Well, the offense is finding success throwing this guy's way. He just had a massive, massive play, his longest catch of the game. And I think if you're on offense, you got to keep looking this guy's way. He's now starting to prove that he's eating his guy alive in coverage, and he needs more touches.
Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
And the Blue Devils trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
Well, at this situation on the field, this defense has their hands full because this running back just seems to have the nose for the end zone. Of course, he scored his last time out. He's really good down here close to the goal.
Touchdown, Blue Devils! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
And he tacks on the extra point. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He gets a block. Continues to fight for yards. He's going to get loose. They won't get him. It's a touchdown.
And he's in for the 2nd score of the game. My goodness. Note to self, kickoff team. Don't kick it to him anymore. Squib it, kick it to the other guy. Just don't let that guy touch it again.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Dropping back, It's Lacey. There's the pressure. Trying to make magic with his feet. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. Will we see more offensive firepower on display, or will the defenses finally find their footing? We're ready to go here in the second. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. We'll send the tight end in motion. They'll run it from the gun. Turning it on! The 10! Touchdown Duke! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Offensive line, give me a crack. I'll do the rest. How about the Jets? The speed. He just turns it on, going 70-plus to the house. What a huge play by the running back.
And the extra point cuts the lead to 7, 28-21. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. Troy is getting whooped today, and at some point this comes down to preparation. Are you prepared to play? Clearly the answer today is a big fat no. They're trailing by 14 to Louisiana. Sunbelt, Funbelt. We'll circle back if anything big happens. You should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Wide receiver going in motion. Looking downfield, it's Carter. Throws for the tight end. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass.
Good play call offensively, and that's the right place to go with the football if you're the quarterback, but just a better job by the defender knocking that ball down.
He might want another play. Under fire. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. Third and long. Ball's at the 25. From the gun. Wants to pass. Working that left side now. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup.
It feels like everything this play caller has called has worked so far in this first half for the offense. They've generated a really nice lead, lighting up the scoreboard, and they're staying aggressive. They're throwing the football. They're dictating everything right now to the defense.
Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. It's complete. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22. The Tar Heels are moving quickly down the field. Wants to go up top on first down. Big tight end. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play, in prime position for a score. And the Tar Heels have it in scoring position on first and goal. Wants to throw again. He wants it all. Touchdown, UNC! And they take it in for 6 more points.
Have a day, young fella. I foresee some social media posts in his future. Not 1, not 2, but 3 receiving touchdowns on the day. What a ball game.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion because that hasn't happened often for this guy. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up? See if they can maybe confuse this QB.
Right down the middle. Got a man. It's Myers. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. The Blue Devils come to the line with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle him, wear him out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard.
And down he goes, trying to pick his way free, but the defense stops him behind the line.
Finally, a defense looks like they're able to break serve here. These offenses have been up and down the field now, these last 2 drives apiece, scoring points. But the sack right there finally puts an end to that, we think. Setting up 4th down, and that might be a major play so far in this game to give them a lot of momentum moving forward.
Kick is in the air. He'll field the punt and see what he can get. He'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. Quarterback making checks. Looking downfield, it's Carter. Fires to the wideout. He's open on the right. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. And he's brought down after a nice game.
He's been a matchup problem all season long. Defenses just don't know how to solve the puzzle. And with that last catch, over 500 yards receiving now on the year for him.
Got it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, North Carolina. No midseason concentration laps here in week 7 as they push out that lead. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21.
How about the day for this young fella? That's a 4-game stretch. Nope, 4 touchdowns in 1 game. He has been the focal point of this offense, and he has not disappointed.
Knocked down right at the 25, and I guess he breaks even, bringing it out of the end zone. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. They're looking at a 21-point hole. There's still time to do some work, but there's also no time to waste. To the ground with the back. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
Got his man downfield. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Here comes the offense on 1st and 10 from the 47. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires to the big fella. There he goes. Ball is loose. And they were lucky that fumble went out of bounds. They'll maintain possession. They've got it down to the 32. 1st and 10 coming. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, it's a nice job by the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quickly on that RPO. He saw something he liked, just not on the same page with his receiver.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Wants to keep it in the air. Going for the big play. He makes a grab. They make the tackle just outside the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal from the 1. And after that pitch and catch, he's already over 200 yards, and we're in the first half, Jesse.
Man, Reese, he's dialed in right now. He's really doing a nice job.
Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Devils. Great job by the back on the option.
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back, knowing if they get down at this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Running back searching for a hole. Got enough for the first down. Brought down at the 31 after a pickup of 10 yards on that one. Here comes the offense on first down. To the air, it's Carter. Oh, they're after him. Picked off. What a play to set him up. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. This offense has it with really good field position. They'll give it to the back. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
Here comes the heat. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground.
Oh, he's got some space. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Looking for the goal line. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Try to barge their way in. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know it's early, but you're down by a lot of points. You've got to go for it here on 4th down, David. I'm finding my best player offensively and giving him a shot.
And what you said is all the difference in the world. I'm already down a lot early. I got to make some things happen. This is a situation to get a touchdown. I'm going for it.
4th and goal from the 3. Let's see what this offense can dial up from here. Touchdown, Duke! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
So nice to have the run game. So nice to trust in it. So nice to cut this game to a one-possession game. Halftime now becomes a lot more bearable. Coaches ain't yelling and screaming. We got to get this fixed, but we got some positive mojo on our side.
On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This QB has had a lot of success all day long, throwing for so many touchdowns, looking very comfortable. Finally, the defense gets to him. Finally, the defense gets a win. They needed something to go their way. Got to start getting some more hits on this guy.
Well, these two have linked up for multiple touchdowns in this game. They had the look they like. They're licking their chops, taking a shot down the field. We haven't seen too many incompletions when these guys have been trying to play throw and catch.
They'll stop him at the 24, and that brings up 4th down. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. The Tar Heels send out the punt unit. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. This is a spot you see many returners try to take a chance, but not this time. The fair catch just inside the 40. Scanning the field, it's Lacey. Quickly to the tight end. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. The offense calls timeout, and they won't have any more left this half. Looking downfield very late in the half. Pocket breaking down. Dragged down at the 43, but they've got it in enemy territory. They picked up 10 and given the first down. Quickly gets everyone set. They spike it to stop the clock.
No gain on the play. Brings up second down.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Second down, they'll go to the air. Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss.
In the last couple of weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him. Getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple of games.
And he is sacked as the defense adds a little emphasis to wrap up this first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Man, great energy in that building. There always is when these two get together. And a fun first half between these rivals. And it's clear, the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first two quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half.
And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. They ought to have some confidence based on that first half performance, but they certainly can't let up in a game like this.
And I think this possession is really, really important. And I say that because they had a lot of success, but they're still
looking to take a shot. Catch inside the 25. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, wanted to get you a quick update on a game happening in the MAC. UMass sure is making the flagship proud today. What a spectacular performance on the offensive side of the ball. They're up 14 over Western Michigan. The Maction never sleeps, and we'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Back to pass, it's Carter. Looking to the big tight end. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. They're dealing with a second and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. This one's complete. Still on his feet at the 45. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38, and these guys are on the move. That kind of play will put a jolt into a drive. It's 1st and 10 from just inside the 40. From the gun, the running back looking for room. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls in.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit, and when they get hurried, and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job on the defense, pressuring the quarterback.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Firing to the right, complete. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a first down in the red zone at the 14. And the Tar Heels come to the line with a new set of downs. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. From the gun, the ground game. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Here on third down, you might want to just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Well, on offense, no doubt, right? You've had success. You're throwing some tutties. Why not keep throwing it? They're going to keep being aggressive. You're going to have to do a better job, though, keeping this quarterback standing up.
And it's right down the boulevard. And they've regained the lead. They were able to get a field goal on the board, and now they'll kick it away.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. Boy, that last touchdown, the one-play quick strike scored. Jesse, this offense hoping to keep that kind of explosiveness going.
I don't know if they're going to get the same looks defensively because of just how explosive that play was, Reese. David, they may be seeing a little bit more off coverage on this drive and maybe some softer boxes to run into.
And when you make that kind of explosive play, you're going to put the defense on its heels. They're going to be a little bit more conservative. So this offensive approach now, maybe I don't have to go deep. I can go a little bit shorter and just make those easy plays underneath.
And the Blue Devils come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And he gets it up to the 36. It'll be a first down.
But when you've had the day that this guy's had so far, why not hand it off to him on 3rd down, right? At this point, you're almost basically expecting him to find a way to pick it up, and he does exactly that. This guy has been a monster all game.
Finds his man. This senior shows some serious arm strength, firing that one in for the first down. The Blue Devils are moving quickly down the field. Dropping back, it's Lacey. Just a short pass to the tight end. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll try the run. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. It's complete to the right. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Gets it out fast.
Good job reading the defense by the quarterback on that RPO. He waited to see how the defense was going to play the run. He saw defenders bite up close to the line of scrimmage, and right away he knew he had the slant throw right in behind him.
Breaks into the open. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. And the Blue Devils kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. Gets the back moving. From the red zone, looking for a man. Catch in the middle, it's Meyer. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up.
Well, that was a weird one because I think running back screen was called, but the quarterback just saw an open receiver downfield and said to himself, hey, I got an open guy, I'm just going to take it.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Relentless, tough running, gets it down to the 4.
You got to be impressed with the quarterback on that last play because he's already been sacked a ton of times in this game. He knows he does not have a lot of time to survey the field, get through his progression. So as soon as he feels a lane to take off and run, he's going to take it. And a really nice job that time, showing off the athleticism and picking up the first down.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Looking to pass. It's Lacey. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Duke. They take the lead with the 6. That dude's really big. How in the world did they lose him?
He's down here. He does a lot of blocking. You play a lot of man coverage in the red zone. And what do? Peek in the backfield, and you lose the big fella. I don't know how he lost that big of a guy, but he lost the race.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Miles. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. Grabbed over the middle. It's Robinson. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down. And Jesse, he just keeps piling up numbers, over 350 yards for the game.
And I feel like from the get-go, Reese, this guy's just been in a great rhythm all game long. He just seems like he's dialed in, and man, he's been accurate throwing the rock.
Backed up now, here's second and long. Off the play fake. Unloads to the wideout. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
Man, the quarterback threw that ball hard, too. And I know sometimes when you're throwing an in-breaking route, you want to get it to your receiver quickly. But when you try to strain and throw it harder, oftentimes your accuracy is what suffers. And you saw it there on the incompletion.
Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41. The Tar Heels want to move quickly.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come over, getting him.
Turning it on. Got the first down and more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Making side adjustments here. Bringing the heat. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Well, will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Back to throw, it's Carter. Quickly out to the tight end.
Nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat, I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
That's reeled in. It's Miles. He will not get to the first down marker, and now that leaves him with 4th down and a big decision. This is a makeable field goal distance, but this offense is thinking touchdowns. They'll go for it on 4th. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Got some room, made it to the goal line. Touchdown, Tar Heels. They move on top here in the 4th.
And this offense really showing their physicality, running the football when it matters in the 4th quarter, in crunch time, to take the lead in this football game.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot. Now let's see if they can pull this one out. They go to the ground. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
If the quarterback's a little more on target there, maybe they hook up, but it's an incompletion.
And sometimes you see great shooters, and they get on fire, and they just can't miss. And that's what this QB looks like the last couple of weeks, man. Just completion percentage through the roof, running the offense at an elite level. You can tell in complete control of this offense.
Using the back as a receiver on the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. Hunt is on its way. They'll put a stop to that return as he gets it up to the 41-yard line. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. The give to the running back from the shotgun. There he goes. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Pulls it in. It's Miles. He goes out of bounds across the 25. Mark it at the 24. And this defense, its head is spinning. They're down to the 25 on 1st and 10. Got the back over the middle. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. 1st and goal from the 9. So this offense has the lead. They have the ball. They have the clock on their side and a chance perhaps to put it out of reach. Trying to move the pile into the end zone. He'll 2nd and goal. Touchdown, UNC! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. Finds us back in the middle.
This is the moment for this offense to put a drive together. It doesn't matter what's happened up to the point of this game, but you're trailing right now. You've got to put some points up on the board. This is where all 11 guys need to be playing together as one.
Safe completion on the screen. Makes one man miss. And he's got enough for the first down. It'll be at the 35.
And his offense is going to have to come up clutch, man. Like late in the football game, you are trailing. This is why you get paid the big bucks. This is why the quarterback is the glamour position. Like, you've got to trust him. He's got to come through. They got to put it.
Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
And this has been the story of the night. The offensive line getting beat up. And this is why this team is losing. You got to protect your quarterback. This defense has had a field day with their 5th sack of the game.
Unloads to the right. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Touchdown, North Carolina! And they turn it into a defensive score. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
And that just might do it. Man, offense needed points badly. Defense comes up with the big interception, takes it all the way back just to pad their lead a little bit and make this game almost out of reach.
And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. To the air, it's Lacey. Here's a hit. Fires on the move. Missed his receiver there, it's incomplete.
And this is always the time in the game when coaches are absolutely watching. Like, which one of my guys mail it in and quit? And if you're the quarterback, man, you've been sacked a few times, you've turned the football over, like, continue to play, find some ways to maybe get a few first downs and make something positive happen.
Jukes his way for more. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. They'll throw on 3rd and short. Rush is on him. And here's a fumble way behind the line. And this fumble bounces out of bounds.
Well, the bad news on that play is they did not get the first down. The good news, though, luckily, the fumble went out of bounds, so they maintained possession because that could have been disastrous for the offense.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. Blasted as he lets it go. And it's incomplete, and the defense stands tall and gets off the field. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
After that penalty, now they're set up inside the red zone on 1st and 10. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
And that run really didn't go anywhere, and a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder.
It's a fumble. He picks it up, still on his feet.
Well, the offense is able to avoid disaster right there. Problem is they fumbled it, but thankfully they were able.
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. They'll go to the ground. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal.
I think one of the biggest reasons why the scoreboard looks the way it does is this offense has been dominant on 3rd down. They have found a way to stay on the field. They do it again here late, running the ball on 3rd.
And the Tar Heels will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. After getting knocked back, it's 2nd and goal from the 4. And they'll take a knee. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Can they salvage the drive by converting on 3rd and goal? And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. And this one ought to be nice and easy, a 22-yard attempt. Absolutely perfect. And that lead grows even bigger. They just put a field goal on the board, and now they'll line up for the onside kick.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we're looking pretty good.
One more play to pad the stats. Defense playing a bail technique. To the air, it's Lacey. Fires deep toward the end zone. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. Guys, this is a story we see every single